What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Wrestling Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we are making a WWE video. For this video, we are reviewing WWE's PLE Evolution. If you guys like WWE and are interested in more videos like this and all my reviews, be sure to subscribe. We are doing SummerSlam Part 1 and Part 2 over the next 2 weeks, and then we'll be doing Clash in Pairs after that. Now, Evolution started off with Bayley versus Lyra versus Becky, and Evolution, I want to talk about, before we go into the match, I want to talk about Evolution. It was the first time they did this in 7 years. I think they should do this more frequently. I think every 4 years would be awesome. They did like a World Cup type event where, the World Cup's every 4 years. Every 4 years would be fantastic for this PLE. I think this PLE, though, it didn't sell out well, but the PLE was one of the best ones of the year so far. Might be the best PLE of the year. We'll talk about some other contenders later in my next review. But I did enjoy Evolution thoroughly all the way throughout. Didn't sell out well, but after the ladies performed like how they did, I think the next one would definitely do much better. But I think WWE has a saturation problem because they had too many things going on at once. Of course, you got the Friday Night SmackDown, then they had the Saturday Night's Main Event, then they had Evolution, then you got Monday Night Raw. You're doing 4 straight shows, and this should only probably be happening during SummerSlam or WrestleMania, right? We shouldn't be going with Main Event and Evolution at the same time. And then they had a SummerSlam card like 2 to 3 weeks after, so it's tough because they're trying to book for SummerSlam, but you also got to book for these events right in between. It's a tough situation WWE was in. But nevertheless, this started off with the Intercontinental Championship match for the women, and it was Bayley versus Lyra versus Becky. The build to this has been going on since Mania. So Becky took Bayley out before Mania, and that led to Becky replacing Bayley to team with Lyra Valkyria in the Tag Team Championship match. They won the titles. Lyra became Lyra 2 belt. They defended the title the next night. They lost the titles. Becky turned on Lyra, attacked her. Becky would later become champion. And in a match between Becky and Bayley, Lyra would get involved. She interfered. That caused the match to get disqualified, and that led to a triple threat match. Now, the match starts off with Bayley knocking a distracted Lyra Valkyria out of the ring. Now, all 3 ladies go for a series of roll-ups. After that, Lyra puts Becky in a unique swinging submission, but Bayley breaks it up by delivering a big boot to Lyra. Lyra drop kicks Bayley into the corner and goes for a baseball slide onto Bayley and Becky, but they both catch Lyra and toss her into the announce table. Becky baseball slides Bayley and leaps off the apron to clothesline Bayley. Lyra goes for a tornado DDT off the announce table, but Becky counters by sending Lyra into the steel steps. Becky gives Bayley an exploder suplex into the barricade. Back in the ring, Becky goes for a pin, but Bayley kicks out at 2. Becky strikes with a double axe handle off the top rope. This gets another 2 count on Bayley. These double axe handles never hit. It is crazy to actually see this connect. But nevertheless, it got another 2 count. Bayley begins to fight back. She goes for the rose plant, but Becky reverses into a disarm her attempt. Lyra takes them both out with a top rope crossbody. Becky goes for a manhandle slam, but Lyra reverses into an arm drag, followed by a fisherman suplex. Bayley flies off the top rope for a macho elbow drop to break up the pin at 2. Bayley sunset flip power bombs Becky into Lyra in the corner. Bayley got a nice 2-for-1 special here. Bayley goes for the pin, but Becky kicks out at 2. Bayley gives Lyra a springboard elbow drop onto Lyra in the corner. Lyra kicks out at 2 after that. Becky and Bayley fight on the top rope. Becky superplexes Bayley off the top rope. Bayley kicks out at 2. Becky transitions right into the disarmer. Lyra breaks up the submission with a double leg drop from the top rope. Bayley kicks out at 2. Lyra goes for the Nightwing onto Becky, but Becky reverses and gives a double DDT to both Lyra and Bayley. Lyra kicks out at 2. Becky goes for the manhandle slam, but Lyra counters that again and goes into a pin attempt. Becky kicks out at 2, gets back up, connects the manhandle slam. Bayley breaks it up at 2. Bayley plants Becky with a tilt-a-whirl power slam. Bayley follows that up with a Bayley to belly. Lyra breaks it up at 2. Now we got the actual finish. Lyra gives Becky a Nightwing, but Bayley breaks it up at 2. Bayley and Lyra go for a series of roll-ups. Lyra goes for a Nightwing to Bayley, but Bayley escapes and gives Lyra the rose plant. Becky breaks up the pin by putting Bayley in a backslide pin for a 1, 2, 3. The crowd, we got some "This is awesome" chants and "This is wrestling" chants. And then commentary wise, you got "This is the coolest pin I ever seen." That was Wade talking about Becky's pin to win the match. I thought it was a really cool pin. Very clever there to have it end with a roll up. You kind of protect the wrestlers instead of them losing with a clean finisher move. They got caught by surprise, rolled up, and then that's how they lose. So I thought this was an amazing match to start Evolution. Thought the right person won. I thought Becky as the heel is doing tremendous work in adding prestige to that title. I think she should hold on to this title for a lot longer. But like I said, I thought it was an amazing match to start Evolution. Lyra, Becky have been cooking, and they continue to cook. So amazing match. I'm gonna give it 4.60 stars out of 5. Now we're going on to our next match, which was Jordynne Grace versus Jacy Jayne with Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley from Fatal Influence. And this is for the NXT Women's Championship match. Now, this match starts off with Jordynne giving Jayne a German suplex, and Jordynne follows that up with a suicide dive. That gets a 2 count. Jayne slingshots Jordynne into the bottom rope. Jayne attacks Jordynne in the corner. Jordynne fights back and gives Jayne a spine buster. Jordynne and Jayne trade strikes. Jordynne wins the advantage and repeatedly rams Jayne into the top turnbuckle. Jordynne shows off her power with a 6 sit-out power bomb. This gets a 2 count. Jordynne delivers a world's strongest slam and goes for a springboard frog splash, but Jayne avoids it. Jayne catches Jordynne with a knee and a draping neck breaker off the middle rope for a 2 count. Jayne goes for a cannonball in the corner, but Jordynne evades it. After a series of roll-ups, Jordynne counters Jayne's big boot into a fisherman suplex for a 2 count. Jordynne climbs the top rope, but Jayne kicks her and lands a top rope hurricanrana, followed by a vicious knee strike. Jordynne kicks out at 2.9. Great kick out here, great combo by the moves. Now we got the actual finish. Fallon Henley tosses the title into the ring, but Blake Monroe comes out. She takes out Fallon Henley with a headbutt. Monroe takes out Jasmine Nix. Fallon Henley distracts the referee. Monroe bashes Jordynne in the back with the title. Jayne capitalizes and pins Jordynne for the 1, 2, 3. Monroe gets in the ring and hands the title to Jayne. I thought the crowd was great throughout this match. I thought this ending made no sense though. So previously, I do follow NXT a little bit. I don't watch it, but I do like see the highlights and stuff like that. Fatal Influence put Blake Monroe through a table, but now Blake Monroe is making an alliance with Fatal Influence out of nowhere, especially after Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace just teamed up to fight Fatal Influence the week before. So I don't know what the thought process was here, really. I have no idea what this booking was. I will not lie to you. As for the match itself, thought it was a really good match until that ending happened. And I can't give it a good score because that ending is just nonsensical. But let's talk about the commentary, though. Some say that Jacy Jayne is the most beatable NXT Women's Champion in history. That was Michael Cole. And then the throw to Jordynne Grace is taking maximum abuse. That was Wade Barrett. And that's a wild line to say. I ain't gonna lie. I had to write that one in my notes. Like, we can't be talking about the throat of Jordynne Grace taking maximum abuse on a PLE. We can't talk about it on a house show, a live show, a PLE. We can't talk about that whatsoever. That's a crazy phrase to say. But shout out to Wade Barrett. He didn't say no diddy or anything. He just kept it pushing after that. Then after that, we also got one more quote I noted here. Blake Monroe just stuck it to Jordynne Grace. The real question is why? And that was also said by Wade Barrett, and I had the same exact question. Why? And I haven't followed NXT too much. If you guys know why in the comment section, let me know why they explained on it. I saw Jordynne Grace cut a really good promo about female wrestlers and potential champions coming in all shapes and sizes and colors and all that. I'm like, that's a great promo. So maybe Blake Monroe roasted Jordynne Grace and said, you're not championship material. I don't know. Maybe that's where they're going with it. But right now, as somebody that doesn't watch too much NXT, I had no idea why. But I want to talk about Jacy Jayne here, somebody that I thought was gonna be dead on arrival, like career probably ended when Mandy Rose. Jacy Jayne was part of Toxic Attraction, which is another faction, similar concept to Fatal Influence. But when Mandy Rose got fired or whatever for her situation and all that, I like her partners are probably screwed. Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne. Gigi Dolan, I was kind of right on her being screwed because she did end up getting fired. I thought Jacy Jayne would be right there with her, probably getting fired. But no, Jacy Jayne becomes champion. She beats Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm like, wow, she is probably one of the weakest women champion in NXT history. But they're bucking Jacy Jayne very strong now, and she's working hard. It seems like she's improved a lot in the ring and stuff. So kudos to her. Great turnaround for her. Glad she's still on the main, not the main roster, but glad she's still on the NXT roster, and she might get called up to the main roster very soon. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, I thought this was a well above average match. I'm gonna give it a 3.40 stars out of 5. This match will probably be remembered for the Blake Monroe heel turn on the Jordynne Grace, and if they can make that make some logical sense, maybe you could look back on this match, a little bit better. But until then, I can't put in the good category or anything above that. 3.40 stars out of 5. And then we're going on to our next match, and that is Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, versus the team Zarya and Sol Ruka, versus We're Not Friends, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, versus the Judgment Day, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. So a 4-team tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. And I don't know how these teams qualified or all got together, perhaps, but maybe it was thrown together. But they did have a Fatal 4-Way the night before, and I thought the Fatal 4-Way was really solid. But nevertheless, we got this Tag Team Championship match here on Evolution between these four teams. And it starts off with Kairi Sane drop kicking Roxanne Perez. Kairi tags in her teammate Asuka, and they deliver tag team offense to Roxanne. Raquel tags herself in, and she slams down Asuka and Kairi Sane. Raquel knocks the other two teams off the apron before tagging in Roxanne. Alexa tags herself in and delivers insult to injury to Roxanne. Roxanne rakes Alexa's eyes, and Zarya tags herself in. Zarya overpowers Alexa and plants Alexa with a facebuster. Sol tags herself in, tags in off of Zarya, and gives Alexa a slingshot facebuster. Alexa kicks out at 2. Sol gives Alexa a spinning facebuster, but Alexa responds with a kick that sends Sol into the Judgment Day's corner. Raquel tags herself in and prevents Alexa from tagging in Charlotte. Raquel and Roxanne attempt some tag team offense, but Alexa dodges it and makes the hot tag to Charlotte, and the crowd erupts. Charlotte Flair in the year 2025 is getting cheered. I can't believe it. Did not have that one on my bingo card, but here we are. Now Charlotte flies off the top rope for a crossbody on the Judgment Day members, onto both Judgment Day members. Charlotte gives a series of knife-edge chops onto both Judgment Day members. Charlotte drops Raquel with a cartwheel clothesline and gives Roxanne a fall-away slam followed by a kip-up. Charlotte clothesline Raquel out of the ring, and Roxanne goes for a roll-up, but Charlotte kicks out at 2. Charlotte delivers a perfect spear to Roxanne that turns her inside out. Roxanne kicks out at 2. Raquel big boots Charlotte into the Kabuki's Warriors corner. Asuka tags herself in. Asuka missile drop kicks Raquel, then German suplexes both Charlotte, then gives one to Sol Ruka right after. Asuka drops Roxanne with a series of strikes and tags in Kairi for some tag team offense. Zarya breaks up the pin at 2. Zarya drags Roxanne to her corner and tags herself in. The Kabuki Warriors drop Zarya with a series of kicks, then go for a suplex, but Zarya reverses and suplexes both Kabuki Warrior. Great show of strength here by Zarya, the 2-for-1 special, the double suplex. Zarya tags in Sol. Sol does a moonsault from the top of Zarya's shoulders. Charlotte breaks up the pin before a 1 count. I thought this was a little premature by Charlotte to break up the pin so early. The timing is a little off. Normally they break up the pin at 2.9. Build a little suspense. Charlotte broke it up right away. Not the end of the world or anything though, just a little small thing there. But the match continues. Charlotte big boots Zarya out of the ring. Then Soul comes from out of nowhere to deliver the Soul Snatcher, one of the best looking finishers there is. If you don't know what the Soul Snatcher is, it's like a flipping RKO. Very acrobatic, amazing move. And it came from out of nowhere. I think Soul Ruka has a tremendous future because not only she's super talented, uber athletic, one of the best finishers in the business. Picture perfect every time she hits it. It's spectacular. It really is. Now, the match continues though. Alexa attempts Sister Abigail on the Soul, but Soul escapes. Zarya and Soul go for a tag team spear onto Alexa, but Charlotte returns just in time to save Alexa. She pulls Alexa out of the way. In result, Zarya accidentally spears her own teammate Soul Ruka. Now, Roxanne Tornado DDTs Alexa, then gives Charlotte's pop rocks. Raquel powerbombs Alexa onto the Kabuki Warriors and Zarya at ringside. Roxanne connects with a suicide dive on the Charlotte. Raquel gives Soul a Tahana bomb for the 1, 2, 3. So, several things here. I like the ending. I like the friendly fire that happened. Is inverted, and I still think I watch a little bit of NXT. Like I said, I think Zarya and Soul will probably be a feud in the future. They work really well as a tag team, and they're really good friends and stuff. But I think they probably will end up feuding maybe for the NXT North Atlantic title. I think that was called the mid card title over there at NXT that Soul currently has. I could see them feuding for that in the future. Inverted here though, but they drop little Easter eggs and stuff that could get planted for the future. But I really like the Charlotte saving Alexa aspect, and the Judgment Day retains. So I think that's a solid decision here. Judgment Day retaining. You see what the crowd's doing, because I thought Charlotte and Alexa could have won it here, but you see how the crowd's responding. See, because you don't want to push too early on Charlotte and Alexa, and then if they win, people are booing them. They might turn, whatever case may be. Right decision here. The crowd really loves Charlotte here. She's the fan favorite. So this could result in them getting a rematch and becoming tag champions. So we had to see what SummerSlam holds. But nevertheless, thought this was a really good match. I can't believe we got rewind Charlotte chants, and we got a whole bunch of Ric Flair woo chants for all the chops that Charlotte was delivering. Also got This Is Awesome chants and some Holy Is chants, so the crowd really did like this match, and I did as well. And commentary-wise, though, we have Who Doesn't Love Pirates? Who Doesn't Love Princesses? That was talking. That's Wade Barrett during Kairi Sane's entrance, since she's the Princess Pirate. And if she wins another title tonight, we'll have to call her the Belt Collector, because she will have to check another bag at the airport. That was Wade Barrett on Soul Ruka, because not only she's the the NXT North Atlantic champion, she's also the Speed champion, and she got another title. She had 3 titles. She had been the Mercedes Moné of the WWE. Now it almost seemed like they're starting to get along. That was Michael Cole talking about Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, their relationship. I think that happened right after Save. He made that comment. And now Judgment Day blames Kairi Sane for Liv's injury, although it was a freak accident. I thought that was a great line there by Michael Cole, because he tried to build a rivalry between the Kabuki Warriors and the Judgment Day. Because, kind of for the most part, some of these teams, tag teams in particular, don't have meaningful rivalries in the women division. He's trying to build something there, so I appreciate that nugget he dropped. And then what a 180 response for Charlotte compared to just 2 months ago. That was Wade Barrett. Noticing the crowd's expression and love for Charlotte, because 2 months ago she couldn't even say a word. She getting booed out of the building. Now, like I said, she's a fan favorite. And Wade Barrett said one more line: I'm struggling to keep up with who's legal. And I agreed as well. Not only were there so many tags in this match and stuff, which is great because you want everybody to get some action, get some offense in, and have the spotlight on them, but there are so many times in this match where the non-legal person was in the ring. If that makes sense. So it's it kind of did get a little confusing to figure out who's legal and who's not. But nevertheless, I thought this was a fast-paced match. We got could Roxanne and Raquel coexist and retain their tag team titles? Yes, they can. And then we got Charlotte getting cheered. I think that's definitely what this match will be remembered for. The Charlotte Flair face turn. Now, Overall, though, I thought this was a really good match. 3.85 stars out of 5. Can't complain. Now we're going on to our next match that kind of came up out of nowhere. Is Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. And honestly, I don't know where this build really came from, but we got this match. They did team up together at Elimination Chamber. And in my women's review, I did say Trish could come back and challenge for the title whenever. It'd still be a respectable contender. That's why I put her in A tier. Uh, WWE, I ain't expect for y'all to be this lazy with the booking, but here we are. This match starts off with these two chain wrestling. Trish goes for Stratus faction, but Tiffany escapes. Tiffany goes for the cartwheel Alabama slam, but Trish counters into her arm drag. Tiffany lands two suplexes onto Trish and goes for another suplex onto the apron, but Trish counters by landing on her knees. Trish hurricanranas Tiffany off of the apron and onto the ringside floor. Back in the ring, Trish lands a spine buster, goes for a pin and gets a 2 count. Trish connects with a Luthez press, followed by a series of ground and pound punches. Trish connects with a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Tiffany trades strikes. Tiffany wins the exchange and strikes with a springboard elbow in the corner. Tiffany delivers a suplex that she turned into a double knee gutbuster for a 2 count. Tiffany lands a picture perfect swanton bomb for a 2 count. Tiffany goes for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Trish meets her up there. Trish goes for a super stratisfaction, but Tiffany pushes her Trish away. Trish goes back up. She delivers a super hurricanrana to Tiffany and follows that up with a chick kick. This gets a near fall. Trish goes for stratisfaction, but Tiffany counters and delivers a rolling senton. Tiffany goes for the prettiest moonsault ever again, but Trish gets her knees up. This time, Trish connects with the stratisfaction for a 2.99 kickout. Now we got the actual finish. Trish goes for a moonsault, but Tiffany escapes. Tiffany strikes with a chick kick, followed by a cartwheel Alabama slam. Tiffany lands the prettiest moonsault ever for the 1, 2, 3. For the crowd, we got the "You Still Got It" chance directed at Trish Stratus. She's, I think, pushing 50 now. Maybe she's on the other side of 50. I don't think so. I think she's approaching 50, though. And yes, she still does have it. Look-wise and in-ring-wise as well. This is awesome chance. And we got thank you Trish chance after the match. This might be her final match. Who knows? It's always great to see Trish in the ring again. But if this is her final match, that was a good match to go out on. Now, commentary-wise, I'm not even sure what you call that move, but I'm sure some nerd online will correct me. That's Wade Barrett. I don't even know what the move's called either. It is a suplex that, like I said, Tiffany turned into a gut buster with double knees and stuff. I wasn't sure if it was botched or that's exactly how they played it. It looked sick and gnarly. I won't lie to you. It was a very clean looking move. I hope Tiffany adds that to her actual arsenal. Thought that was a cool move there. But thought that was a great line by Wade Barrett. And then we also got another one. This is an oxymoron. A move this beautiful should not be that painful. That was Wade Barrett on Tiffany's Swanton Bomb. Memorability, though. I said, I thought it was a good match for Trish to go out on, but I don't think it was really a good match overall because the build to this wasn't anything crazy. It's kind of a predictable match. You knew, well, fully expected Tiffany to win because they kind of been booking Tiffany versus Jade. That's the problem with this type of show in general, where it's like right in between the main build, which is SummerSlam. But nevertheless, thought it was well above average match. I give it a 3.40 stars out of 5. Now, we go on to our next match, and that is Naomi versus Jade Cargill, a no-hold-barred match with special guest referee Bianca Belair. So all this stems back to who attacked Jade, put her out on the shelf for several months, is Naomi. Then Naomi replaced Jade in the tag team championship division, and her and Bianca were tag team champions. Then Jade makes her return to Elimination Chamber, and all this stuff. They fought at Mania. All this stuff, just the feud continues and continues. Really great feud in my opinion. But this is probably going to be the last match. Why? Because this match is a stipulation match, right? It's not just a regular match. It's a no-holds-barred match. And they got Bianca to be the special guest referee. So it's really two kind of stipulations, two specialty matches in one. But the match starts off with Naomi trying to ambush Jade with the briefcase before the bell rings. but Jade dodges and rams Naomi into the barricade and the steel steps. Naomi sends Jade headfirst onto the steel steps. Naomi brings out a kendo stick, but Jade ducks and suplexes Naomi. Jade brings out a table, but Naomi smacks her with a kendo stick. Naomi tosses a trash can, aka Dominant Mysterio, into the ring. Jade spears Naomi at ringside and tosses Naomi in a toolbox into the ring. Naomi gives Jade a tornado DDT onto a steel chair for a 2 count. Naomi rams Jade into the ring post and begins to choke her with a steel chain from the toolbox. Jade ragdolls Naomi off of her, then grabs the steel chain and punches Naomi with it. Jade then grabs a camera and bashes Naomi with it. Jade throws the camera away. That's a waste of money, by the way. You can't just toss the camera out. So that's coming out of her paycheck. If I'm an employer, I am super mad. My employee just grabbed my camera, messed it up, and then maybe didn't break it. Maybe you might be able to fix it. Then she just threw it away. I'm like, oh, now you definitely broke it. Are you kidding me? But the match continues. Jade puts a trash can on Naomi. The trash can falls off of Naomi, right? But Naomi puts the trash can back on so she can get hit with a big boot from Jade. I'm like, we can't just put the trash can back on and hold it so it doesn't fall off of us. Like, Naomi, you're a veteran. Try to make it look a little realistic. Like, you ain't just trying to get big booted to the face with the trash can on you. But nevertheless, match continues. At ringside, Naomi drop kicks Jade into the announce table. Smoke comes out from out of the TV monitors. Speaking of smoke, as I record this, I just about near burnt my house down. I was making a Salisbury steak dinner, and I left it in there too long. I thought I hit 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Turns out I probably hit 53 minutes. So that thing was in there. Not for all 53 minutes. I caught it, but it's like 15 minutes or so. And wow, when I say there was smoke all throughout the house, and the food was black as heck, that's how much smoke was under this announce table. There was smoke everywhere. I'm like, oh, you inhaled that, you are in trouble. But like I said, the match continues. Naomi drop kicks Jade off the apron and onto the table at ringside. Naomi gives Jade a face buster onto a steel chair for a near fall. Now we got the actual finish. Naomi places Jade onto a table and places a steel chair onto Jade. Naomi was going for a moonsault, but Jade gets up and hits Naomi with the steel chair in the back. Jade delivers Jaded from the top rope and through the announce table for the victory. Crowd, we want tables. They got tables. We got This Is Awesome chants. It was awesome. And they got Holy-ish chants as well. And then commentary-wise, I was wrong earlier. There is an end point to evolution. I hate it. Way better say evolution all program long. I say evolution. He says evolution. I say maturity. He says maturity. It's just tomato. I can't with Way Bear. But nevertheless, there is an end point to evolution, and that is Jade Cargill. I thought that was a great line to pretty much amplify Jade. You know how they call Brock Lesnar the alpha male of our species? Jade Cargill is the end point of evolution. Now, the reason why she wears caution tape is because there's about to be a crime scene out here. That was also Michael Cole. Great line by him. And then memorability-wise, we got a super Jade off the top rope. That was awesome to see. And through a table. So, I thought it was a good match. Nothing too crazy, but it's the end of the feud. I thought there was a lot of spots in here where it's you could tell it's spot heavy, and it didn't seem like the match transitioned naturally to those spots. That makes sense. It seemed like, all right, this is a planned point. Go to this point. Go to this point. It wasn't like a smooth motion. But overall, thought it was a good match. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars out of 5. Not the best, not the worst. Now we're going on to our next match, and that was the Women's Battle Royal. So, the winner of this match gets a championship match in a couple months at Clash in Paris. Those are the stakes. And I think it's the 20-women Battle Royal, but I'm not sure exactly. Now, Nia immediately eliminates Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane. When I say immediately, I'm talking about the first 10 seconds of the match. They should have not shown up. I know they might be like, hey, we're on the card. At least we made it on the card. Listen, if you're going to go out there and just get eliminated right away, I'm like, yo, I'm going to have to call in sick, boss. I'm sorry. You can't put me on the card today. I got too much pride. But They get eliminated immediately. Now Nia knocks Kalani Jordynne out of the ring, but Tatum and Dame catch her at ringside. Kalani does a handstand to get back on the apron and drop kicks Lower Vice back into the ring. And then Kalani makes her way back in, right? So Stephanie hangs Ivy Nile over the ropes with an armbar. Julia pushes Ivy Nile over the top rope. So Stephanie, Valkyria, and Julia kind of work together here. They were friends at one point at NXT, then became rivals. And right here, they were friends yet again. Now, Stephanie and Julia stare each other down. Then they trade strikes in the center of the ring. Nikki Bella intervenes, but Stephanie positions Nikki for the devil's kiss. I was so ready for this, but Chelsea Green, the biggest hater. She breaks up the move before it can get started. The party pooper that is Chelsea Green. Then Natalya and Maxine Dupree, they come in. They save Nikki Bella from getting suplexed. Then all three work together to suplex the Secret Harvest. Maxine then does the caterpillar elbow to Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Natalya does the move as well, the Alba Fire in Chelsea Green. But then Jada Parker intervenes. She tosses Natalya over the top rope. Maxine Dupree also gets tossed over the top rope by Candice LeRae. Then Jada Parker eliminates Candice LeRae with a hypnotic and an assist from Kalani Jordynne. Michin and B-Fat work together to give Jada Parker the long back attack. That's the patent that Michin twerked into a cannonball. Michin and B-Fat toss Jada Parker out of the ring to eliminate her. Nia Jax clotheslines Kalani onto the apron. An already eliminated Candice LeRae yanks Kalani off the apron to eliminate Kalani. So I'm not sure this is going to lead to a feud or anything down the line with Kalani and Candice LeRae. I'd be super mad if I got eliminated by someone I already eliminated, but that's a different story. Match continues. Lash Legends drops Nia Jax with a big boot. Nia Jax rolls out under the bottom rope, so she's not eliminated. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves in the Battle Royal, in the Royal Rumble, all that. When they go under the bottom rope, so they're out of the ring, and then they just come back in later, I hate it with a passion. But we get this other spot here a little bit later. I'll talk about. Julia and Vega fight on the apron. Vega eliminates the U.S. champion Julia by sending Julia into the ring post. So it looks like we're going to get Julia versus Zelina Vega rematch. Piper Niven eliminates B-Fab. Chelsea Green eliminates Michin off camera. Right there showing Piper Niven get the elimination, and then Piper Niven stood there and saluted. In the background, you can see Chelsea Green eliminate Michin. So awkward timing here, but nevertheless. An already eliminated Michin tries to yank Chelsea Green off the apron. Alba Fire suicide dives through the middle rope to take out Michin and save Chelsea Green. Clever spot. So I know I said I didn't like Nia Jax rolling out under the bottom rope. I guess if you suicide dive through the middle rope, I like it. It's a little fine print caveat right there. But hey, I thought it was a cool spot. Alba Fire remains in the match because she didn't go over the top rope. She went through the middle rope. So in the show, David vs. Goliath, back in the ring, we got Lash Legend and Zelina Vega having a stare down. Lash tries to razor edge Zelina Vega out of the ring, but Zelina reverses that into a Hurricanrana attempt. Lash reverses that into a gorilla press and tosses Zelina Vega out of the ring to eliminate her. While the Secret Service poses, Nikki Bella eliminates Alba Fire. Chelsea Green tells Nikki Bella to watch and learn as she mockingly does Nikki Bella's patented twirl. Lola Vice gets involved. She gives Piper Niven a couple spinning roundhouse kicks. Chelsea Green lifts Lola Vice and does squats with Lola Vice on her shoulder. So Chelsea Green's out here just trolling. Hit all the emote buttons right now. But this allows Lola Vice to escape and for Nikki Bella to spear Chelsea Green. Lola Vice and Chelsea Green both do the Nikki Bella twirl in unison. Piper Niven clotheslines both ladies. Piper Niven eliminates Lola Vice with a headbutt. Stephanie and Nikki Bella work together to toss Piper Niven over the top rope. Stephanie Valkyria back suplexes Chelsea Green, then puts a finger in the sky before giving the people what they want. The devil's kiss to Chelsea Green, and this is karma. Chelsea Green, you intervened earlier when you weren't supposed to. This is what karma is. So instead of whoever is supposed to get the devil's kiss earlier, think it's supposed to be Nikki Bella. Chelsea Green, you got it for what you did earlier. You paid for your sins. You must atone. Now, Nikki Bella hits her finisher move onto Chelsea Green, then eliminates her. I think it's called the Rack Attack 2.0. Of course, she can't do the regular Rack Attack anymore because of neck injury. I think she just called it the 2.0. It's the variation of it, but her new finisher. But now we got the final four, and that's Nikki Bella, Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and Stephanie Vaquer. Nia Jax drops Nikki Bella from behind and does the Bella twirl. Nia tries to eliminate Nikki Bella, but Nikki holds on. Lash Legend tries to big boot Nia Jax out of the ring, but Nia avoids it. Lash Legend eliminates Nikki Bella with the big boot instead. Now we got the final three. Lash Legend tries to scoop slam Nia Jax out of the ring, but she's unable to. Stephanie tries to assist, but Nia Jax holds on. Stephanie and Lash Legend deliver a tag team drop kick and a tag team clothesline to eliminate Nia Jax. Now it's just Stephanie and Lash for the actual finish, the final two. Lash big boots Stephanie, then places Stephanie on her shoulders. Stephanie escapes and lands a super kick, followed by a 619. Stephanie goes for a springboard crossbody, but Lash catches her and tries to powerbomb Stephanie over the top rope. Stephanie reverses that into a hurricanrana, and both ladies go over the top rope and land on the apron. Stephanie transitions into a devil's kiss and gives Lash Legend 10 kisses, 10 smooches, 10 lashes on the apron, and then eliminates Lash Legend right after. Crazy ending. I'm not going to lie to you. We don't see a single SVB, a Stephanie Vaquer bomb, right? That's the actual finisher. We see 2 devil's kisses. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I think Stephanie winning was the right decision. She is my pick to win. Glad she won. Can't wait to see her match at Clash of Paris. You have to see who she faces and all that. But thought this was a great match. And well, not a great match. A great moment for Stephanie Vaquer. She did talk after the match. She cut a really good promo where she said, she struggles with English because that's not her first language, not her native language. But wrestling is her first and native language. I thought that was a great bar. Short and simple on the promo after, but I thought that was a great moment for Stephanie. And can't wait to see what she has to offer. She was tremendous at NXT. She's been tremendous since she's been called up. And she has a bright future. Definitely one of the future horsewomen of women's wrestling. Now, crowd-wise, we got Nikki Bella chants, and we got the crowd going crazy for the devil kisses. They got the 2-for-1 special. Normally, we get 10 devil kisses. Nah, you got a whole lot of kisses. You got 20 kisses in this match. So, shout out to the fans. I want 30 next time, Stephanie. I talk about the Sami Zayn punches, and I hate them because he does like 10 punches in the corner, and then like he does 10 more, and they all rapid fire. Stephanie, I need 20 kisses next time in one session. I need 10 normal, and then 10 just rapid fire. 10, I'm fiending. Alright, that's a little wild. But commentary-wise, this is when you need to study your Kofi Kingston tapes. That was Wade Barrett when Kalani made that great save to start the match. And then that is so much better than Otis's version. That was also Wade Barrett when you're talking about the caterpillar that Maxine does. Cole accidentally called Candice LeRae Candice Michelle like 3 or 4 times throughout this match. It's actually crazy. And then Wade Barrett, he said, set your heart ablaze, Zelina Vega. So I'm not sure if Wade Barrett knows about Demon Slayer or anything. There's a Demon Slayer movie coming out. I have reviewed the first half of Demon Slayer Season 1 on this channel. I will do a movie review for Demon Slayer. But I got to get back on the Demon Slayer review. But that is a great line by Wade Barrett. Set your heart ablaze. Love that one. And then hips don't lie, neither does Piper Niven. When she said she's going to get in the ring and cause some chaos, that was Wade Barrett after all the mocking twirls and all that stuff they were doing. And then in the MMA, that headbutt is illegal, but not in this battle royal. That was also Wade Barrett after his little advice, the former MMA competitor got hit with a headbutt to get eliminated. But the worst line Wade Barrett ever said was, he called Nia Jax best... her Bella twirl that she did mockingly, of course, the best one yet. Oh, that thing was atrocious. And that because Nia, whatever, and all that. But, I mean, Nia. You gotta have some rhythm. You gotta, nice and slow. You gotta, rookie error. But nevertheless, great save, right? The match had the Stephanie Devil kisses, but great save by Kalani as well. And then, like I said, I really did enjoy Stephanie's promo here. And that's gonna be the end of the match. I thought it was a really good battle royal. I'm gonna give it a 3.75 stars out of 5. Now we're going on to our next match, which was the main event, and it was the match of the night, and it will be what this card is remembered for. This match right here, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the WWE's Women's World Championship, was phenomenal. Now let's go right into it. It's a rematch from Mania. Well, from what? Right after Elimination Chamber, where Rhea lost to Io, and then they fight again at Mania. Io wins that triple threat match and to retain, and then we get everything about it so perfect because they keep this storyline going. Rhea has never beat Io. The record's 0-17. She's looking like the Detroit Lions, the Cleveland Browns. She just can't win. I don't think the record is really 0-17, but she can't buy a win. She's looking like the Saints this year. I'm predicting it right now. The Saints might go 0-17 this year, but nevertheless, can Rhea finally beat Io and become champion again? The match starts off with Rhea and Io in chain wrestling. Rhea feints a punch to Io, then mockingly does the Io taunt where she does like the loco sign to her head or whatever. Io then drop kicks Rhea out of the ring. Io goes for a suicide dive, but Rhea catches her with a forearm. Rhea goes for the electric chair drop on the apron, but Io lands on her feet, then connects with a moonsault off the apron and onto Rhea. Io leaps off the top rope for a roll-up pin for a 2 count. Io goes for a 619, but Rhea catches Io's leg. Io sends Rhea face first onto the apron. Rhea strikes with a knee to Io, then tosses Io off the apron and into the announce table. Rhea sends Io into the barricade and into the steel steps. Rhea gives Io a backbreaker and hangs her on the top rope. Io kicks out at 2. Rhea locks in a body scissor submission. Io rolls over for a pin attempt, which causes the break. Rhea kicks out at 2, then drop kicks Io. That gets another 2 count. Rhea applies a abdominal stretch. Io fights out of it and spikes Rhea with a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Both ladies are down. Rhea and Io trade strikes. Io gains the advantage. Io delivers a stomp to Rhea's stomach, followed by a German suplex. Io connects with a suicide dive onto Rhea at ringside. Io climbs the top rope to strike with a missile dropkick. Io delivers the bullet train attack for a 2 count onto Rhea. Io goes for over the moonsault, her finishing move, but Rhea grabs her. Rhea goes for a top rope German suplex, but Io lands on her feet. Io lands a series of shote uppercuts, but Rhea responds with a barrage of strikes of her own. Io goes for another tilt-a-whirl DDT, but Rhea counters it and goes for a suplex attempt. Io reverses that suplex into a poison rana for a 2 count, and in typical Rhea fashion, she takes it right on her head, spikes. Perfect job. I think Rhea's the best at all these DDTs and poison ranas, all that stuff, because she lands directly on her head and like she spikes it. It looks perfect every time. Best sell out there. But Io goes for the over the moonsault again, but Rhea grabs her and delivers a razor's edge. Rhea follows that up with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Rhea goes for the riptide, but Io escapes and applies a sleeper hold. Rhea breaks it by ramming Io into the corner. Rhea goes for the superplex, but Io escapes that. Io jumps off the top rope for a missile dropkick, but Rhea dodges it and the referee catches the kick instead, so the referee is now down. Rhea riptides Io and goes for the cover, but there's no referee to count. Rhea gives Io another razor's edge, then tosses Io over the barricade. They go out into the crowd. Rhea begins brutalizing Io into the crowd. Rhea goes for a powerbomb off the apron. Off a platform. But Io escapes and bashes Rhea head first off that same platform. Io climbs another platform and jumps off of that platform to land a crossbody from super high up. Io sends Rhea back into the ringside area. Io goes for a bullet train attack on the announce table, but Rhea avoids it. Rhea sends Io back in the ring, but Rhea comes back with a sunset flip powerbomb, sending Rhea onto the ground at ringside. Io climbs the top rope and lands the over the moonsault for the 1-2 kick out at 2.99. Oh my goodness, this match is awesome. Io, right now it's a 5-star match. After that kick out right there, I'm like, this is a 5-star match. They done gave me the plot twist of the referee going down, and this turned into an absolute brawl. They're fighting all over the crowd, right? And then you give me this amazing false finish. Oh, it's a 5-star match. Io and Rhea fight on the top of the rope. Io lands a top rope Spanish fly, and both ladies are down. It's a 5.5-star match right now. No, I'm kidding. We cap out at 5. We're not Dave Meltzer here. We're not breaking our system. But now we got the actual finish. Naomi's music hits. Miss Money in the Bank runs down to the ring and cashes in her contract. The match becomes a triple threat match. Naomi hits Io with the briefcase. It's a triple threat, so there's no disqualification. Naomi tosses Rhea out of the ring. Naomi lands the top rope split leg moonsault onto Io for the 1-2-3. Perfect, perfect, perfect match. What a plot twist. I didn't even see the Naomi cash in coming after she got beat up in that Jade match. We get this the same night. This was a 5-star match. Loved everything about it. For the crowd, we got Let's Go Rhea. And got Io Sky Chance. We got This Is Wrestling. We got This Is Awesome. And we got Holy Is Chance. The crowd was electric. Commentary wise, if the referee's down, it's technically legal. You're right, Wade Barrett. If the cops don't see it, it's legal. You feel me? If you don't get caught, it's legal. Technically, of course, you know. I need Wade Barrett to be my lawyer. And then memorability. Rhea still can't beat Io, so we get that storyline to continue. And Naomi's epic cash in, of course, right? So I thought this was the best Rhea versus Io match one-on-one in a long time. Of course, they cooked at Mania. That's a triple threat match, but they had a one-on-one match earlier this year. Not the one where Io won, but like another one where Bianca interfered or something like that. It might have been a special guest referee. That one, their chemistry seemed off. But this one, I thought was their best match one-on-one. And then with the cash in, it's a legendary match. 5 stars out of 5. And that will conclude this video. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Let me know what you guys thought of the main event. I thought it was a 5-star match. You can't hate it whatsoever. But that's just me. If you guys disagree, let me know. Match of the year candidate. I will, at the end of the year, do a top 25 matches that we have reviewed so far. Even going back to last year. This one will likely be on there unless WWE just gets the absolute cooking. But you can't have this match and that be a top 25 match of the year. It was phenomenal. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you guys on our next one. WWE SummerSlam Part 1.